are you? It is spontaneously rainy and drizzly this morning. I don't know. We had such warm, beautiful days. It was quickly approaching the 90s. And then all of a sudden it rained. That's spring in California. We'll get hot and we'll get the rain. And if we don't get wind between, the water will sit on the plants and that will cause the mold. So that is the enemy of the wine. All those great vineyards. Sorry. All those great vineyards have great big fans to blow those raindrops off of the leaves of the water. The water off the leaves. Oh, cheers. Let's just keep drinking. So last week was a week, right? I uploaded the week before's video on the week and I did the editing, but then I just plucked the wrong video and uploaded it. Craziness. I also noticed that when we had a chance to visit on Friday, that I bluntly rudely did not introduce you to a new friend. I know. Absolutely horrible of me. So, I've been doing some side crocheting every now and then. Been poking in a few extra minutes on a fun group of patterns that I was introduced to. Missy over at Missy's Yarniverse raves and talks so highly about these adorable little patterns. I don't have my book. Hold on, time out. We're oopsing all over the place again. Hold on, let me go get my book. Okay. It was in the living room because I've been working. Ellen, this crochet bag that you sent me, oh, I love it. I love it. It is the perfect size to carry just what I need. I tend to overpack. So, okay, Missy introduced me to Maria Ermolova. Where is she? There she is. On Etsy, there's a brief little about section, and Maria talks about how her daughter and her daughter's daughter, granddaughter, or her daughter, I'm not sure which one. There's two women that are designing these patterns together, and it talks about how it's a mother-daughter duo. She has all of her patterns linked on Etsy. She has all of her patterns linked on Ralvery. So she is naturally a knitter. The detail with the increasing, the decreasing, and just the little tips and tricks she gives you to add character to your pieces, phenomenal. They're just in the right spot. And the way she takes the pictures and describes how to make the details, you will not end up with a flat blank project. She's good. She's really good at holding your hand. So Hooked on Honks. It's an Amazon book. After Missy was showing some of her characters that she's making in a book that she has, I needed the goose. I have a cement garden goose, and there are some visits on here back in my playlist where I've created outfits for them. She's definitely due for another outfit. But I got a soft spot in my heart for geese. She's adorable. So I bought the book, and then I started poking around a little bit more into Pelushka Bunny is their company name, is their business name. Poking around at their patterns a bit more, and I found this duck is called Josephine Plumley the Goose. Poking around a little bit more, I'd love to introduce you to Lady Gwendolyn Crowley. Lady Gwendolyn Crowley. This is Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is a converted knit to crochet pattern. She is Crochet. Palushka Bunny. Maria is making quite a few more patterns into the crochet. And see how her eyes are pulled in. Her chin is pulled up so that her little wattles are placed correctly. My niece fell in love with her. Of course, right? Ooh. Gwendolyn's pattern came with a bonnet and a dress that is slightly, not this one. It's very, very ruffly. Here's a picture of Gwendolyn in her, when she took her supermodel pictures. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make that dress. That dress is adorable. So Maria instructs us to use a very small hook. It is a 2.5. You could go bigger because these stitches are tight. You can go bigger, but it's gonna make your new friend bigger. I do like those really, really tight stitches. It worked very well. But when I was trying to make the ruffly dress, I was using a 4-weight. What was I using? I was using Caron 1 pound, I think, and then just some scrap yarns that I'd pulled out. The dress really should be made in a 3-weight, which she does. She instructs you to do that. I was just trying to use what I had, you know, and then she has all the pretty colors in there. I guess I need to go yarn digging in my cellar and pull out appropriate yarn. Okay. I don't need to go shopping. I need to go shopping in the wine cellar over there and pull out some appropriate yarn. But just for sake of wanting to introduce you to her, I needed to put clothes on her. So I just used, there's a scrap of something lavender, and I just picked the very basic dress on there. These dolls should work up. There's quite a few dolls in the line that all work up the same size, and they can share clothes. They can share clothes. So I'm making both of them, and they're going to be sisters. Okay, making both of them. And then the bonnet is also out of the book, not the one that Gwendolyn came with. My niece found a button on the floor, and she insisted that we tie it on a string, and so she has jewelry too. Okay, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's little dress was made extremely basic. You know, I even got to thinking, because at the same time I was making the Crystal Bag-O-Day crochet dresses, I was thinking the techniques that Crystal shows us, which she intends for us to take out into the world and make creations out of. Some of Crystal's basic concepts would work amazing for these dolls. So there's a little dress. Super, super simple. We got a nice little button. It splits in the back because Gwendolyn has a tail. Of course she does, because she's a chicken. She has legs. Maria instructs us on how to sew the legs from one side to the other. I use this really, really long needle, which I did. This one came in a thrift store find, but I have seen them at Hobby Lobby in opposite of the yarn in the embroidery section. They do have, and I think they were called, they did say something about dolls, doll limb attachment, something, oh gosh, I can't remember how it was worded, but you can find them there. I'm sure they have them in other sections too. So I used that really long needle, and then I picked out some basic pearl buttons. They're not pearl. Mother of pearl is what I'm trying to say. I think they're like abalone. But they're nice and strong. And she, when Maria tells you how to stuff each body part, she gives you circumference. So you know if you are stuffing too much or not stuffing enough. Feet, not stuffed. I think she would have done well with 2 of those little flat marbles. I have some in flower pots around here somewhere. So I will be making more Gwendolyns. I think that she would do amazing at fair. but with a little modification. This one's mine. She's gonna stay with me forever. My niece fell in love with her. She's not going nowhere. She is made out of Barocco, a wool tweed, Hobby Lobby, tobacco. Is that tobacco? I think that's tobacco. And then I didn't want, so it was supposed to be red, red, yellow, yellow. I wanted her a little bit more on the subdued side. I wanted her to look like my Bonnie. So there we go. I picked, what was the red? It was like a rose. Oh! For her legs, her comb, and her wattle, I used the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Peel, because if she's gonna be loved on, I don't want, want her falling apart. Mauve. Mauve. And then the little hat is just some scraps of yellow that I actually took out of the Granny Square color palette that I had over there. Ooh, that goes good in this dreary sunlight. You can see the little bonnet, just straight. And then there was some surface crochet, single crochets all the way down. Put some chains on there. It frames her little face so well. Okay, we gotta take your jewelry off. Oh, maybe we're not. Arms are sewn separately. So we do the legs, we do the little drumsticks, we do the wings, we do the wattle, the beak, which, I mean, that is a chicken beak. That's a good little chicken beak. And then the comb. For the toes, and the comb, we're doing the same concept. You make 1, 2, and then the last one, you don't cut off. You connect them all and then start working to the back. You connect them all and then you do a couple of rows. Not stuff and fluff, a little stuff and fluff, no stuff and fluff, because you actually want them to fold in on themselves. She's a cutie. I even did some using my embroidery skills, which I'm so glad that I've jumped on that journey, because I've noticed it really, I'm more, sorry. I'm more confident when it comes to eye work in detail. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I used the glittery eyes that I purchased for the monster books, which I'm still working on the monsters for the market. So my idea is I want to stream down what I'm taking to market. I got so carried away with things that I'd like to take. I'd like to take medium-sized plushies, monsters, and I'm gonna make Gwendolyn. I'm gonna make a couple more Josephines. So I'm gonna take the geese, the chickens, and the monsters, and then I'm going to take a couple of very basic, shiny, sparkly, fairy little girl dresses, and I'm gonna make some like market bags, some bags, and then that's it. That's all I'm gonna take. And so I'm gonna try to have one price point for all of them. And then at the last minute, I'm sure I'm gonna take a couple of little baskets just full of like $3 items, like just little things from all around, $3, $5, I don't know, somewhere in there, but just a couple little baskets of the Trinkly stuff to get it, to move it, to clear it out. And then I'm gonna put my business cards and I'm gonna say, hey, I love doing this. Keep me inspired to keep doing this. So little tail, her little body shape, her little feet. The head and the body, I'm sorry, somewhere in there I got distracted, is all one piece. So when you do your stuffing, I'm good. Maria held my hand through that. It is appropriately shaped so that it really isn't, you're not top heavy, you're perfect. And she does. Look how she turns her head just enough to be sassy and cute all at the same time. That's my moment. That's what I do this for. When I'm crocheting an amigurumi and you get to that point, it's different in every every project, it is a different split moment. But you get to that moment where you have enough of your project completed that all of a sudden you look down at your project and it's looking back at you. That little spark of magic that just, it's suddenly alive with personality. She happened really quick. I'm telling you, man, she was just waiting to burst alive. And Josephine's done the same thing. Josephine probably even a little faster than Gwendolyn. Shh, you're okay. It's not a competition. I used a tiny little heart button in the back. Hide my face. There we go. Tiny little heart button. And on that first row, they tell you to chain, and then they say work into your 6th chain, and then she'll put in parentheses, that's your buttonhole. So she's predicting all these questions that pop into my head when I'm like doubting the pattern, or, oh, maybe I should modify or change that. No, Maria's like, hey, Amy, chill out. That's your buttonhole. Leave it. I had a good time working through the pattern. It wasn't just step by step, row by row. Like it was evolving. It was coming together. It was a very fun journey. And I will be making more because she's so adorable. So for mine, I'm going to make all the clothes. All the clothes, because they need to be interchangeable. These would be so cute to have them in a hope chest, or a little dresser, even just a tiny little dresser in a playroom, and just have like all your dolls in there, and then all the little doll clothes. They even have shoes. They do. I'm trying to tie her bonnet on really quick. I'm going to show you her shoes. Hold on. Gwenny, little Gwendolyn, Lady Gwendolyn Crowley is the pattern on Etsy, and she's crocheting. Josephine's crochet too. I showed you a couple little pictures. Not really a Christmas person, but you could do that in different colors. Those little shorts are adorable. The little vest, something spring, put some flowers on the back of it. Oh my gosh. I've got to make the little jumper. I'm trying not to show the pattern because that's rude. Little shoes. All right, are we ready? Okay, officially, it's almost time for Shark Week. How cute is that? Oh man, it's so adorable. So even if, okay, so I was looking at Shark Week. Even if I didn't make the shark hat on it, let's see, how skilled am I at this? Can you see those little shorts? How they're, I can't show you too much of the design, but you can do that in any color and it'll just be some little baggy bottomed shorts and a little jumper top. Okay, Josephine, you have my heart. Look at those little shoes and the cape. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with these ladies. Little girlies. Okay, I can make 2 swimsuits, 2 different colors, and the girls can hang out together. I think of them as sisters. There's gonna be more than 2, I'm sure. I showed you the little jumper with the sunflowers. And then, what? My goose is gonna be able to splash in puddles and not get her little feet sweat. I think I gotta go back to the swimsuit. Oh, there's one more dress. There's a lot of patterns in this book. And with every doll pattern, you get other clothes patterns with it. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a way to buy a book of patterns. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maria, for doing such a good job getting me excited and thrilled about this adventure. Okay. We're back to this picture. I got too excited. I was flipping too fast. Look at the sandals. I'm a flip-flop girl. My dogs do not like to be tucked into shoes. My feet need to breathe. Josephine has flip-flops. I gotta make them. Have to. They're calling to me. lots of pictures, step-by-step picture. I wish I could show you more. I wish you were here and I could just hand you the book and say, look, 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 look. Here's Josephine's body. So the last couple of days I have been tinkering about, and that's why I do not have a sis sock update. I know, sis. We're supposed to be working on socks. Technically, I kind of made socks for Gwendolyn. All right, so there's Josephine. I hung out with my son. We went to a couple different fishing spots. One I got some good pictures of. I'll tack it to the end. I worked the beak. The beak is chains, and then you're working back, so it actually has that long flat goose beak. And then the eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have eyes, right? But they're not good enough. Okay, after I made Gwendolyn, I kept thinking like, oh, I need the realistic good looking eyes. So Amazon. Look at those eyes. Amazon. They have so many. I'm not even going to link these because they have so many different kinds, different brands. All right. You already know where I'm going. Josephine is the green-eyed goose. Look. You know what? That's not even doing it justice. Where is Josephine? Josephine, where are you? All right, so I'm using Caron 1 pound. I didn't want white. Things don't stay white. Not in my hands. They turn crusty. This is off-white. And then I brought back the tobacco. Brought back the Hobby Lobby tobacco. Because they're sisters. They need to have something the same. Okay, here we go. I got my... my 2.5 Daiso hook, which with that triangular piece on there, I'm really digging into these stitches, and these stitches they're nice and tight. So there's not very far yet. I got beak and face. I've got beak and face. And she's got that squared off beak, which there's some fancy stitching in there that's going to help that stay where it's supposed to be. And then no eye work yet, but look. Those are the perfect eyes. And then she tells you to leave a long tail because you work the beak, and then in the front loop, back loop, you start working the facial features, which is a perfect transition because now you'll fold this beak part back and you'll have that perfect little ridge that goes around your goose's face. Oh, she's looking wonky. She's a silly goose at the moment. There we go. There we go. I'm in love. Already in love. So, yeah, I threw my socks aside. I only have to do toes. Very little left, and then some toes. I'm gonna always have more socks going, so I don't see a rush. I gotta follow the passion and the inspiration, right? I gotta jump on the train when it comes by. Gwendolyn and Josephine. Josephine Plumley. She's hatching. Oh my gosh, look at her beak. She already has so much personality. So, I think that they would do well at the market. What do you think? She's made out of Caron 1 pound. The only reason why I made Josephine out of the Barocco is because it was a tweed. I did not want to shop. I needed to shop stash. Plus, I instantly downloaded the purchase on Etsy, and I had to start like right away. As soon as I saw her, I was like, I gotta get her on the hook. I gotta start. So I wanted her to be a tweed, and that tweedy color reminded me of Bonnie. which is a soft spot in my heart. So I'm going to keep her. And that was the point of me telling you all that. The price of that yarn would not be reasonable to make many market chickens. So I'm not going to make a flock. But, take 2 of them with me, two Gwendolyns and maybe 2 Josephines. We'll see. It's an amazing pattern. I don't think I'm going to get burnt out on it. But, like, how much time do I really have to do those and the monsters and everything else? But if I made her again, I would definitely make her out of the Caron 1 pound because I have a lot of it. And I also have quite a bit of the Yarn Bee. So, I mean, between those fibers, they're washable. They're wearable. They're lovable. Gwendolyn can't. She's wool. I don't really want to get her wet. Which I guess just the main part of her head and her body are really the only fiber fill parts. And she's not very thick. I think she would be washable. I better figure that out. That sounds like an important question that somebody might ask me at the market, huh? That sounds like something important. Well, just sitting here talking to the girls. Cute live chickens. They need a tea set. Prop them up, give them a tea set, give them clothes to wear. That is the perfect little dress up set kit, isn't it? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna work on Josephine, sip on my hot coffee, and in my cardigan sweater, my Hexie cardi that Amanda over at Tap Mom and the Bag Brigade made for me. It's cozy, it's wonderful, it's all my favorite colors mixed together. Perfect morning just to be at home. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm not gonna go anywhere. So if you want to come back and visit later, you can do that. I'll be right here. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope it's filled with yarn and good friends. I'll see you soon, friends. Bye.